street. I was sort of deciding whether to go east or west from 17th, and we decided to go west in the end. Walking past the Warwick and this commercial here, the Rittenhouse Grill, whatever. So I was thinking of that funny TikTok short video that went around a ways back. It was the meme of put the pack lid on the glass. What glass? The glass in the microwave. Okay. And close the door. What door? The door to the microwave. What's wrong with you? It's so funny. I kept thinking of that today. It's like a popcorn meme or whatever. Here at the outdoor chalets left at Costa or whatever it is. I forget what this is called. It's next door to the regular park at the Rittenhouse. Some of the last few dining chalets left since the pandemic. I don't know if they have to pay like a permit to have those dining chalets still on the street. There was a fire at the chalets here at Rittenhouse, which caused those chalets to be taken down. And then, you know, technically they kept them up long past the, you know, pandemic ordinance and all that stuff. You had to keep applying for permits, I think, to keep them up. So which way do I want to go? So we'll go from Locust up 18. It's a little fire here. well, they trap people, right? There are people who are skilled at trapping. This became like a weird phenomenon that we notice like from time to time. And we're like, I think some people actually do it on purpose. And then say someone came by shooting, or say you're driving around a parking lot in front of Publix in Florida, and people keep blocking you in, and it starts to get weird. There's like a point where it's like beyond normal. You're like, it's starting to get weird right around now, you know? And have large groups of people or family lineages or similar learned how to do this, should they need to feel the need or believe that they have to stop someone in their tracks, or if they're just like vampires and try to, like, you know, they're bloodsuckers or whatever, and they are always looking for a fresh kill or what have you. It's kind of like that in Philly a little bit. So. And Gainesville. We talk about Gainesville. So in Gainesville, Florida, in Gainesville, Florida, I had a couple weird experiences, and it's like a thin Kelsey Grammer. And I was like, what's wrong? Like, what is it? Like, somehow I got, I've been so forsaken, it's ridiculous. Somehow I wound up the target of something totally whack, and sometimes they can get really weird into sci-fi land. It's hard to explain, but and here's a little example. Well, one person said that so many people in Gainesville grew up with the mentality of movie making, or have actually worked on, you know, low-level crews or what have you, like sort of like, you know, and they have this knowledge, and they might like play with it and then stage people, you know, say to Starbucks, you know, and you're waiting for the Starbucks to open. Maybe you work at a Starbucks and you show up with someone else, and they text something about leaving food for the homeless, and someone at that second, someone goes into the trash dumpster area to look for food. You're like, that's a coincidence, you know, that we're talking about this, and someone comes out looking for the free food that was put out to the trash that's still wrapped and everything, best buy date and stuff like that. So anyway, I had another weird thing. Do you want me to talk about that one?
I went in there yesterday too.
I had another weird thing happen in Gainesville, Florida, and this has to do with, my mom was in hospice care. This was the peak of the pandemic. She wound up in hospice back at the house, you know, where she and my aunt lived. And my nephew was going to come down with his wife and 2 daughters to visit with my mom, because he wanted to see her before she passed away and all that stuff. They were coming down from Delaware, and all of a sudden, like, the energy got really weird, like in like a day or 2 before they would arrive. It's hard to explain because this happens from time to time, where it seems like the vortex is whipped up, and it's like, I don't know what I'm witnessing. It's not me, but it's almost like if people or an environment can be puppeted, all of a sudden like something will start whipping up. So anyway, I felt the need to run to make an errand at a grocery store or whatever. So while I was driving about a mile away from my mom and aunt's residence, you know, they lived in a sort of a mobile home-ish type park, kind of. It was a mix. I wound up with a flat tire. This is my mom's car. So I pulled off at the nearest place that I could. Turns out it was at a church parking lot, and the address on the mailbox matched the last 4 digits of my phone number. And I was like, that's weird, because what are the odds that they're... So anyway, that kind of freaked me out because I felt like I was in someone's movie. Like, is this so weird? It could feel like that. So anyway, I called the insurance company and luckily my mom and aunt had, you know, they kept paying for years. Insurance wasn't that expensive. And they were kind of excited because they never really got to use it, and they're like, you're really the first one who actually is using what we paid into, so it kind of works out. And someone came out to change the tire, at least to a spare or whatever you call those things, the donut, and then I could go in. Then they drove me in the car, like with a tow, into like Tires Plus or whatever to get a new tire. Anyway, and they had Allstate insurance, and you know, there were a couple things that went on that were kind of freaked me out, but anyway, we'll leave it at that. But it kind of felt like someone else's arrangement, set up, or whatever. So anyway, guess God has a plan. Green Eggs Cafe, although they usually sit here.
Yeah, I got a question for you about that.
Over here